Okay, hello everyone. Today what we're going to be doing is pruning. Doing a little cleanup work here. As you can see, a lot of these plants are kind of growing into one another. We have my sweet potato vines. They're growing into the black bean bushes over here. And also, if you see way back there is my bell pepper plant, which seems to be looks like it's going to be taken over by the sweet potato vines. I did not expect for them to grow so long or so much. Again, I heard that they could take over a complete area this size, but I'm trying to make sure that that doesn't happen, because I have quite a few things here that I don't want destroyed by my sweet potato vines, even if I have to cut them short or continuously cut them short in order for them not to do so. Also, behind this bush here, I have another bell pepper plant, which is not getting much sunlight because the bush being a black bean plant, is covering it. It seems to be leaning too. So what I'm going to try to do is stake that and pull it back up to hold it nice and straight, because it's leaning. I don't know if it's the fruit that's coming on it, or the pods that's coming on that's making it lean like that, or that's just what they do. I have no idea. Again, I am the novice gardener. I'm just testing. This is all theory here for me, experimental. And then we have my bush beans, and some of the plants here are beginning to lean. If you can see back in here, they're kind of laying down on the side. So what I'm going to do is also stake those and try to pull them back up so that my beans aren't hanging on the ground as well. What I'm also going to be doing is trimming this monstrosity here of cucumbers. I made a mistake and planted way too many plants in the ground and did not trim them, or did not cut them as they began to grow. I was planning on trimming some of them out and keeping the strongest ones, but all of them seem to be coming up so strong. I think there were about 9 of them in here, and the vines are growing all over everything. Again, you see here we have leaves that are covering my basil, so they're not getting any sunlight down there. I also have them on the other side growing into my onions. Actually, they've covered my garlic, which is under here somewhere, and now they're growing into the onions. So what I'm going to be doing is trimming off the suckers and establishing another trellis for the vines to grow up. And then in the back, I'm not really going to mess with the squash. The squash plants here, they're also covering my garlic, but the squash seems to be a little bit more important than my garlic as of now. The garlic wasn't even growing much. And then my strawberry bush, it looks like it's going to be growing into that again. It's kind of late in the season for strawberries to be growing anyway, so I don't really expect a whole lot more out of it. So if it just so happens to be covered by the squash, that's fine with me. We can see we do still have a little bit of production. You see some red down there. I'm still producing some, but I don't really expect a whole lot. All right. So to trim, we'll start here at the cucumbers. Now, if you don't exactly know what suckers are, they're going to be the leaves that grow off of the main stem, or the new plants that begin growing off the main stem. I'm going to try and find you one here, just so that you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Which is going to be kind of hard because they have been so overgrown. Ah, boy. Like here. This is the main stem. So this one going up here, see there are 3, it grows in 3 different directions here. You have to follow the main stem, which is this one that's continuing to grow up here. So what you would do off of this main stem is take this one here and this one here, because these are going to grow new plants. The new plants is not what we want right now, at least until it gets to the top. And it can take over from the top. We just don't want it taking over the garden from the bottom, because again, it's covering some of my other plants here. We have some down here too. See, this is like a main stem. You see where it cuts off into 3 different shoots here, creating 2 additional plants. So what we're going to do is cut off like this new plant coming off the stem of this one. It goes up here, and we're going to cut off this one back here. And then hopefully we'll create some sunlight for some of the plants at the bottom, and give some relief to some of my other veggies that are growing here. All right.